Hi everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new tutorial where I created a quick and easy art journaling page and where I show you a step-by-step art journal process using visible image stamps, and I'm working inside my Joggles 6x6 disc-bound watercolor art journal. All the products are listed below in the description area. Now, I love working in my disc-bound art journal from Joggles. I love my 6x6. It's a great space and a great size, and I love it that you can remove the pages. The thing with this double art journal page is that I've already used the journal several times, and now all my pages are done on one side, and I want to make sure that the other side is filled as well. However, I do not want to ruin the other side because I really love the pages, so I can't put too much of a wet medium in the back. So I figured that the best medium to do behind it is to use Distress Oxide inks. So I took my Tim Holtz glass mat, which actually has been sitting in a box for a while, and I don't know why I never used it because I truly love it. And it's just so easy to use, and I'm doing it right on top of it. And I'm using the white part to add the ink, and I'm using several colors of Distress Oxide inks, which I will list below. And all I'm doing is just adding them to my white mat and then spraying them with a little bit of water and then dipping my pages. Now you can see that both pages have a different type of art journal in the back. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fill a set of art journals in the middle. Now, if you don't want to do double spreads, I know some people use this disc-bound journal and just use one side of the 6x6 page, and then you don't have to worry about filling the back. It will just stay white and plain, and that's okay as well. I love both ways of doing that, but because I wanted to have a full journal, I am doing this. And that's the reason why I am using a medium that is not so liquidy, so it will not stain the back, it will not soak the paper as much. I really love this art journal specifically because you can remove the pages and you can do so many things with it. So I don't have to be stuck inside an art journal, and it doesn't also ruin the middle of the art journal where the binding is. This way I can remove it and then put it on at the end. I also love the way the Distress Oxide inks create an amazing simple background. You don't have to do much to it. You can just continue adding different stained elements with different colors, and it creates a fabulous background that you can just add things to it after. So by continuing to add the colors, you continue to add really nice stains to it as well. One of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to match some of the stains that were already on the back of this art journal. I wanted to match them with the same colors from the Distressed Oxide inks. Another things I wanted to do is I wanted to use some of my Distressed Oxide inks because I just recently purchased the next 12 colors, and I realized that some of the third bundle that I had bought I have not used. It was a good way to taking them out and using them for this purpose. So I continued adding layers of the colors until I was happy with the result. Then I just heat set, and then that was it. And I wanted to talk about the point of this type of art journaling. This is a very simple, easy to make art journal. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I wanted to art journal and create art, but I'm really constricted in terms of time. I don't have time right now. There's a lot of things going on and I'm very busy. And I still wanted to journal. I still wanted to have video content for my YouTube channel, but I really didn't know what to do. And I wanted to show that it's sometimes just easy to show a simple way of doing art journaling, not using a lot of products, just very simple. And that still looks beautiful and it still gets that art craving and that amazing feeling that you get when you create art, but it doesn't have to be something too complicated. Since I wanted to keep everything very simple, I wanted to have just one stamped focal image. And I took this amazing Life is Beautiful stamp from Visible Image, which is an amazing company from the UK. And I took the hummingbird from the stamp set and placed it where I wanted it on the left side of the page. Then, using my stamp platform from Tim Holtz, I decided to stamp the image onto the background. I used black Archival ink and just stamped the image. I had to stamp it a few times just because the paper is not smooth in the background, so some of the parts were not stamping perfectly. But that's why it's so good to have a stamp positioner like the Tim Holtz stamp platform. So I just continued doing this a couple times until I was able to stamp the whole image. This hummingbird is just beautiful. I really love the silhouette effect and the distress that it has in the wings, so it looks like it's flying. And I thought it was amazing to have it for a focal point. For the other side, I decided to stamp the sentiment that comes with the stamp set, which says life is beautiful. It's really nice to stamp it above, and I used the same ink to stamp this. And I only had to use the stamp platform twice in order to get a crisp image. To add some more distress and interest to the background, I took the third stamp that came in the set, and using a stamp block, I stamped it around the page using the black Archival ink again. This gave a lot of interest to my background and made the images look cohesive. Then, to match the splatters from the back of the hummingbird, I took some black soot distress oxide ink and diluted it with a little bit of water and then splattered it in the background. All you have to do is just create a nice watercolor-like consistency and then tap a paintbrush to create the splatters. Then I used what was left over on my mat to distress the edges. It's really easy to just move the edges along the wet areas, and all it does, it creates a nice border for the background. And I love having borders on my backgrounds because they really frame everything well. I heat set everything really well, and then I took my black Uni-ball pen and started adding border markings around the edges of the journal. I love doing this as well because it enhances the borders, and all I did is just randomly add lines very roughly so they become distressed and uneven. I also felt like the background needed a little bit more, so I took a script stamp and I just added a little bit of that script image around the edges of my background. That way, it kind of framed everything and created a really nice distressed look to everything, which was the theme that I was going for in this art journal. I really wanted to keep this simple and not add too many elements, so that's why I only did stamping and a little bit of distressing. Finally, I took my white Uni-ball Signo pen and started adding a little bit of white markings on the bird. I just basically highlighted the wings and the tail just so they would stand out a little bit more. Once I was done, all I had to do was just pop the pages back in, and it was perfect and it didn't damage the back of the pages. And now I have double-sided art journal pages that I can enjoy when I'm flipping through the journal. So some of the pages had a lot of wet elements on them, and then there's these quick and easy pages where I use things like ink to create the backgrounds, and that way they didn't stain the back of the other pages. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy art journal page, especially if you don't have a lot of time to create and you really want to get creative. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on social media. For more inspiration, subscribe to my channel and visit me on my website. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Bye!